Welcome to Descubre tu Historia YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about the FamilySearch Wiki pages. What are they? Where can you find them? Actually, you can see it right now on the screen. And why are they important when we start our genealogy research? Welcome everybody. My name is Irisneri Alicea Flores and I am a professional Latina genealogist. I focus on Hispanic genealogy, which is former Spanish colonies in Central, South, and South America and in the Caribbean. All right. So, what are the FamilySearch Wiki pages and why are they important? Let me just say this. Even me, as a professional genealogist, when I am going to get started with a genealogy research and I need a starting point, especially when I'm researching a place I've never researched before, I go to the FamilySearch Wiki pages. These are pages in FamilySearch, which is the FamilySearch is a database that contains genealogy records from all over the world, and it's administered by the Family History Library. So these wiki pages contain information on what is available on FamilySearch and even beyond FamilySearch. They can be very helpful. They can even guide you. For example, if there are records that have not been digitized for some areas, they may even guide you on what to write, where to write to request records. So let's look at the wiki pages. There is other areas and other sections of FamilySearch, but let's start with these first. And this is what so if you're specifically looking, what are they, where to start, this is one way you can start. So first of all, FamilySearch is free. So you can open an account for free and start researching for free. They even have a tree building. You can also build your tree if you would like on their site. So FamilySearch Wiki pages, there's different ways to find it. This is my FamilySearch account. This is one of the ways. I go to search and then I go to research wiki. In other pages, it might actually appear up again, laid out over here, or even on the left. So it depends where you are on FamilySearch. So for example, if I'm starting with Puerto Rico, essentially all the different countries should have a wiki page. Some wiki pages are going to contain more information than others. It depends on what has been digitized for that country. For Puerto Rico, there's a lot of digitized records, which means you can find them here online. I'm going to move myself over here. And so this is the main page. So you're going to see information, Puerto Rico genealogy, online genealogy records. So if you go over here, it's going to show you other areas on the web that you can find records, some research help, how to get started. So there's a lot of resources that you can actually utilize from the wiki page. A lot of the countries, including Puerto Rico, will have a clickable map, so you can narrow it down. In this case, for Puerto Rico, you would narrow it down to the municipality. And they're also listed down here. Other FamilySearch resources, civil registration, the church records, other resources. There's also research, if they have research tutorials, they will have that available to you right here. So like I mentioned, there's the municipalities. So yes, when you start research, it is best to at least be able to narrow it down to the municipality. So let's say if I'm starting with Ponce. I want to know what's available for Ponce. So yes, each municipality will have its own wiki page. We'll have a little bit of history, civil registration. So civil registration are the records that were kept or archived in the municipality level or local government level. And they record the life events such as birth, marriage, and death. And if you go right here, a lot of times it's going to be around the third choice. It's going to be specific to that town. So if I were to click there, it actually has a list by year for each collection. Some of these will have what we call indices or indexes. So in this, for example, if you know your ancestor passed between 1890 and 1911, you can go to this index. Some of the indexes, or many of them, are in alphabetical order by surname or by last name, but there are some cases that they are by first name. So just be aware of that. So for example, if you have a ancestor where you know their name was Jose Antonio and the index is by first name, you might want to make sure to look for them under Jose and Antonio. So you're going to look for them under J and under A. Just to think, just to be careful with that. But essentially, you find the name. Here, it's going to tell you the book number and the page number or the registration number for that specific record. and then you're going to go find it in one of these collections. So that's essentially how that works. We can dig in a little deeper another time. And then obviously if you go a little bit further, especially for Puerto Rico, you can, if there is church records that have been digitized, you would likely find them here. So for Ponce, we have from Nuestra Señora de Guadalupe and from Nuestra Señora del Carmen. And then for Puerto Rico, there is another great resource, which I will talk about a little bit after. But just really quickly, for example, if you were to go to Mexico. Mexico, I do find the Mexico wiki pages also pretty good. Definitely you want to narrow it down to the state, and then if possible, by region. And if you go to, for example, if I want to go to Juarez will also, sorry about that, you can even narrow it down some more in Juarez. And Juarez, you can narrow it down to the area municipality of Ahumada, Guadalupe, Praxedis de Guerrero, and Juarez. So let's say you go to Guadalupe. So the more you narrow it down, the more specific information you have. But of course, narrow it down if possible. You start narrowing it down, honestly, once you start going into the records and start reading the records. But this is, if you are able to narrow it down, let's say here, Guadalupe, Juarez, Chihuahua, it's going to give you the different localities within Guadalupe. We have the civil registration for Guadalupe, and there are church records. And there's also a 1930 census. So Mexico does have the Mexico National Census from 1930 that has been digitized. So as you can see, these are very, very helpful. And because, of course, you're starting out with the most current generation, you're basically, in this case, especially Mexico, you're going to jump into civil registration pretty quickly and into that 1930 census. Then as you start going back some more, then it's when church records really become essential. So, for example, civil registration for this area of Guadalupe, it looks like there is some that may go back to 1865. So in that case, that means that any event that occurred before 1865, you really want to try to find that church record. That's where you're going to go to church records. It looks like church records are a little, here they go to 1850. What about 1850? So this is when you have to kind of look into the history, see what might be available, look also in the nearby areas for other churches that could have been close to this area, because as we know, maps do change, and sometimes people would go to the bigger church and would actually travel. That is essentially the wiki pages and how we use them in genealogy. I use them basically to just start getting my strategy for research. Where do I go? How am I going to start? Of course, because we're starting with the recent generation, you are going to go back. You're going to most likely start with civil registration. And dependent on when civil registration started on that country, in that area, because it varies by area within a country, then you want to obviously go back to definitely rely more on the church records. But so these are the wiki pages. And for the most part, I think, this is a great way to start with a lot of the different countries. I know El Salvador has really good wiki pages, Panama, because these are countries that I've actively definitely done some research in. Cuba is, I don't want to also misguide you and think, oh yeah, all of our countries you're going to find their information here. Cuba is one of those that is a bit limited on FamilySearch. You are going to find some digitized books on FamilySearch, and there are some digitized church records, but there are not many of them. Colombia, I will say, it's definitely has grown a lot. Its digitized collections on FamilySearch have grown a lot, and it's definitely, if you started years ago and you hit a brick wall early, you definitely want to jump on here and check and see what's out there. But this is it. This is the wiki pages for FamilySearch. So when you first start, just try to go in here, get an idea of what's on FamilySearch, and start doing your genealogy. It's definitely a great resource. But really quickly, for Puerto Rico, for mi gente de Puerto Rico, I want to present this website because it is very important, especially for the church records. This website is a Puerto Rican, it's hijosdecoamopr.com, hijosdecoamopr.com, and Osvaldo Reyes, he is a Puerto Rican genealogist. And he's done, I mean, the work he's done here is actually, there's no words to describe what he's done because it's just, it's priceless. And he has actually gotten Family Tree Magazine recognition for 2024 Best State Websites. And yeah, he's created church record indexes for the records, the church records mainly found on FamilySearch. So that's one of the other reasons that it's very important to get that FamilySearch account, because you will be able to, a lot of these links within these different parts or sections do link back to FamilySearch. There are some that may link back to other websites, other resources, but definitely I invite you to bookmark. You want to bookmark this website if you're going to start your research in Puerto Rico. It's going to help you navigate the church records, because some of those church records, they're a little bit mixed up. Years are mixed together, or you got baptismals with burial records. So it can be a little bit challenging at moments to navigate. And Osvaldo has definitely given us at least a tool that we're able to use that can help navigate through those. But of course, any questions that you may have, let me know. And I will be very happy to answer them. Comment below. Go ahead, please follow, subscribe, share this website, this channel. I really would love to be able to post more regarding more information, where you can go, what is out there, because a lot of people don't realize how much is out there. And of course, give me some feedback. Let me know, what do you want me to post about, that you've been looking for information, you can't find it, and you want to know. I will be more than happy to post about it and give you the information that you might need. So thank you, everybody. And remember, subscribe, comment below. Bye, everybody.